We are back on the road, starting a cross-country adventure. On this trip, we are bringing along our newest addition to the family, Bella Barketta the Bordoodle. This is Bella's first road trip, and along the way, we will be showing her the sights and offering some dog-friendly ideas for your next road trip as well. Our first stop along our route was a complete surprise, and not what we expected to find in Middle Alabama. The Cat and Bird is a small farm winery specializing in a great selection of international wines and has a beautiful event space perfect for weddings, showers, and parties. Great live music and a flight of their wonderfully curated wines hit the spot on a warm June afternoon. Bella even got a break from the car and had a chance to stretch her little legs at this dog-friendly venue. As a die-hard race fan and automotive enthusiast, it was only fitting to stop at Barber Motorsports Park, just south of Birmingham in Leeds, Alabama. Barber is home to one of the largest collections of vintage motorcycles and racing car collections in the U.S. and includes a 2.38-mile racing circuit that annually hosts the NTT Data IndyCar Series Grand Prix of Alabama and is also home to the Porsche driving experience. If you are ever at Barber and in need of seat time, the Porsche driving experience is a great way to jump in and start a vacation and take the edge off of driving a boring SUV across the country. One of the challenges of traveling with a dog, or any pet for that matter, is the constant need to stop for comfort breaks. Traditional rest stops work for getting a quick walk on leash, but when you have an 8-month-old ball of energy, they often need some off-leash time to run around. One place that often has an on-site dog park are Love's truck stops. While not the quietest places for the nervous dogs due to the often loud trucks and highway noises, many Love's locations have fenced-in areas for both big and small dogs. Continuing our journey, our first day is coming to an end, and we're stopping over in Birmingham for the night. Another dog-friendly venue on the outskirts of Birmingham is the Trussville Entertainment District, which welcomes our furry friends and offers the adults in the pack an opportunity to refill their tanks and indulge in some adult beverages while enjoying live music on the weekends. We enjoyed a quick meal at Mr. West Asian Kitchen. I had the Korean beef banh mi, Heather had the West wings, and we shared an order of Thai chicken lettuce wraps. Oh, and did I mention they have bourbon old fashions on tap? After dinner, we walked the district and enjoyed a few other adult beverages, while Bella made some new friends. On this Saturday night, there was a Cars cover band playing songs by the 1980s pop band The Cars. How fitting after our day. Well, tomorrow is another day on our trip out west via the Midwest and Plain States, so don't go away. The next morning, we got an early start, but had a shorter day ahead of us. As we left Alabama, we entered Mississippi, the birthplace of jazz and blues in the U.S. It was only fitting that our first stop was Tupelo, Mississippi, the birthplace of the one and only Elvis Presley. It was also a good stopping place to stretch our legs before heading into Memphis. The Tupelo City Hall served as a great shady resting spot for all of us to get some air outside of the car and enjoy the summer sun and heat of Mississippi. After leaving Tupelo, we drove another hour and a half before crossing the Mississippi River just outside of Memphis, Tennessee. The state of Tennessee was the 16th U.S. state and was admitted into the Union in 1796. Known as a volunteer state due to many residents volunteering to serve in the War of 1812, Tennessee has a long history of their residents doing things their way. Memphis is a city famous for the influential strains of blues, soul, and rock and roll that originated there. Elvis Presley, B.B. King, and Johnny Cash all recorded albums at the legendary Sun Studio, and Presley's Graceland Mansion is a popular attraction. Other music landmarks include the Rock and Soul Museum, Blues Hall of Fame, and Stax Museum of American Soul Music. But Memphis is also known for its barbecue. Memphis-style barbecue is slow-cooked in a pit, and ribs can be prepared either dry or wet. Dry ribs are covered with a dry rub consisting of salt and various spices before cooking and are normally eaten without sauce. We stop at a local favorite, One and Only Barbecue, which has been a favorite of locals and visitors alike since 2011. We tried a platter of dry rub ribs and pulled pork along with some southern sweet tea to wash it down, and the ribs at One and Only did not disappoint. They also were dog friendly and welcomed Bella on their back patio. After a filling late lunch, we needed to stretch our legs one more time and work off those calories. Thanks to the Bring Fido app, we discovered the Shelby Farms Park just east of Memphis and a short drive from our hotel. Shelby Farm is one of the largest urban parks in the U.S. with 4,500 acres. It is more than 5 times the area of Central Park in New York City, which only covers 843 acres. Everyone, especially Bella, enjoyed the chance to run through the former farm, now City Park. Was that fun, Bella? It was hot, wasn't it? Woo!
Over 100.
After a hot afternoon in Memphis, we decided to turn in early so we could get an early start tomorrow for our trip across the plains to Little Rock and Oklahoma City. Starting day 3 of our cross-country drive to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and we just crossed over the Mississippi River from Memphis, Tennessee into Arkansas and are on our way to Little Rock and Oklahoma City. Well, we're heading into Little Rock. We're not stopping over. We're going to visit the state capitol and get some video and some pictures there before we head on to Oklahoma City this evening. We've got to find some places to let Bella exercise. Arkansas lies between the Mississippi River and Oklahoma. It borders 7 states and is the gateway to the Midwest. Arkansas was the 25th U.S. state and was admitted to the Union in 1836, with Little Rock seated as the state capital. The Capitol building and grounds are one of the nation's most beautiful state capitals, and the Arkansas State Assembly still uses the chambers in the building that was designed in 1899 by George Mann. The design resembles the U.S. Capitol, such that the Arkansas State Capitol has served as a filming location to stand in for the U.S. Capitol in Washington in films, due to it being made of limestone, which also adorns the main portion of the U.S. Capitol. Just outside of Little Rock, we enter the Arkansas wine country, which I did not know was a thing. In the 1870s, European immigrants settled in the Arkansas River Valley, attracted by its fertile sandy soil and moderate climates. One of those settlers was Johann Wiederkehr, who immigrated from Switzerland and recognized that the conditions were much like the wine-making regions of Germany and Switzerland. For lunch, we decided to venture off the highway and pay a visit to Wiederkehr Wine Cellar and Wine Keller restaurant, where we enjoyed some of their locally grown wine and hearty lunch of sausage, sauerkraut, and German potatoes. After lunch, Heather sampled some of their wines in the wine shop before we hit the road once more. We next crossed into Oklahoma, also known as the Sooner State, in reference to the Sooners, American settlers who staked their claims in formerly American Indian-owned lands. Predominantly a plain state due to its wide open and expansive terrain, its largest and most populated city is Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City is the 8th largest city in the U.S. by land area, despite having less than 1 million people in the metropolitan area. OKC, as the locals call it, also has one of the world's largest livestock markets. One landmark worth seeing is the Oklahoma City National Memorial that honors those impacted by the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing, which at the time was the worst incident of terrorism on the U.S. soil until September 11th. After a long day on the road, we swung through Clark Crew Barbecue to try some of their award-winning, world championship-winning barbecue. Travis Clark, after attending a barbecue competition in 2012, decided to begin competing with his own recipes. Those award-winning dishes couldn't be missed and served to end a great day of travel.
This is really good. Tonight we're in Oklahoma City trying some of their barbecue. Last night we tried Memphis style. Now, I'm not going to get into who does what barbecue best, but when you're doing a road trip like this, you've got to try it all. Later in the trip, we're going to be down in Texas. We're going to try some great Texas barbecue as well. You have to find out yourself what's the best. So this Oklahoma City's pretty good.
Tomorrow is our longest day yet, so it's time to turn in for the evening. We'll be driving straight through from Oklahoma City to our final destination of Santa Fe, New Mexico in the morning. Along the way, we'll stop for lunch in Amarillo, Texas, and maybe see a sight or two along the legendary highway known as Route 66. Located along Hefner Lake Reservoir in Oklahoma City is Stars and Stripes Park. Built in the 1970s as a civic project, the Lakeview Park is one of the largest in the city and the perfect place to exercise Bella before a long day in the car. Back on the road, we head west towards Amarillo. As the cityscape gives way to the Great Plains, our route parallels historic Route 66. One of the original U.S. highways, Route 66 runs from Illinois all the way to California. Along the famous route are dozens of roadside landmarks that are worth stopping to see. We stop at the old Cherokee Indian Trading Post, now a roadside souvenir store and gas station, which Heather couldn't resist. I hang out with the locals and Bella while she shops. Midway through our day, we reach Amarillo, Texas, and grab some Texas-style lunch. On our way out of town, we view the eclectic Cadillac Ranch, which I'm not sure I get. As the Great Plains give way to desert, we enter into the state of New Mexico and the end of this portion of our journey. But tomorrow is a new day, and we will be spending a few days in and around the Santa Fe, New Mexico area. But you'll have to wait for the next episode of Travel Diaries to see what comes next. We hope you enjoyed this special edition of Travel Diaries. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow the Techie Car Guy on social media.